Hello everyone. Today I'm here with another English video. Almost 2 years ago, I introduced a method for newcomers to learn English at the Regina Public Library. Another fantastic way to learn English in Regina is by becoming a part of the Argyle Road Baptist Church. In fact, I've talked about this church in my past videos many times. This church was the first Chinese group I found here. It's where I learned English and got to know the local culture. Various festivals are celebrated at the church, and I've made some of my most reliable friends here, both Chinese and Canadian. The church is not a typically Chinese church. It is a community church with a growing number of Chinese members, largely thanks to a number of professional people who volunteer to teach English to new Chinese immigrants. Before the pandemic, every Saturday afternoon from 3 to 5, the church hosted a 2-hour English class, followed by a delicious dinner prepared by church volunteers. After the meal, there was the church Alpha class. You can practice your English listening while learning Bible. I think it's very good to improve your English, even your holy life. During these classes, some volunteers took care of the kids. The kids listened to the stories, did art projects, and sometimes learned Chinese in a separate room. But when the pandemic happened, some church activities had to stop, and the English classes went from being in person to online, but with fewer students. The Sunday school teachers at the church were worried about the kids would get bored at home. So they made weekly materials for them and delivered them to our houses. I appreciate that a lot. You might be wondering if these services are free. The answer is yes, they are, but with a twist. The people in the church don't ask for payment, but they hope that everyone can, in their own way, help others and pass on the warmth they have received. A concept often referred to as pay it forward. I really like these friendly and caring Christians, and I'm grateful for everything they've done for us. If you ever find yourself in Regina, I encourage you to visit Argyle Road Baptist Church and experience this warmth by yourself. Last but not least, I want to say that I changed my mind during these 4 years. I made Jesus the King of my life. With a grateful heart, I look forward to growing my relationship with Jesus, relying on His strength and guidance every step of the way. Just like my teacher Ron's family and other members of my Argyle church family.
Family for turkey dinners, so they wouldn't be here with us today, but we have some families, and that's great. Thanks so much for joining us. But we want to sort of focus on our internationals, and anyway, to do proper introductions for people from Saskatchewan, I should have a good Saskatchewan map, which I didn't bring. So I apologize for that. Anyway, anyone here who was born in Europe? Anyone here born in Europe? No? Okay, we'll move on to another group. What about people born in China? Okay, other parts of Asia, not China. Anybody from other parts of Asia, not China? Okay, all Asian people here are from China. That's great. Listen, I have a special map just for China. Yes, okay. Famous city.
But this is not the traditional Hangzhou. Yeah, this is from Sichuan.
Sichuan.
Yes. So it's very spicy.
It would be more spicy, that's right.
My name is Roberta. I was born in Manitoba, southern Manitoba, south of Winnipeg, capital city. I was born on a farm in an area where my grandfather, my mother's father, came to that part of Canada as a new immigrant, I guess you would say, back in the 1870s. And the railway was just being built. It came as far as Winnipeg, which was Fort something or other at that time. And then he got a job working on laying the railroad track further west. And he chose some land that he wanted to be his farmland, his homestead. And he went back and bought that, and later married my grandmother and so on. So that's Welsh. He came from Wales. And later my father, in the next century, came from Scotland. And he worked at that farm. He got a job working as a farm laborer, and then he married the daughter of my mother. So that's my background, is mostly Scottish and Welsh. And I went to university in Saskatoon, and I guess it's not exactly where I met Ron. I met him before. We both went to a Christian boarding school that's just west of Moose Jaw, called Cairnport, and we really met there, but I didn't have much to do with him there. He wasn't a top student, I'll tell you that. But somehow later when we got to university, we got together.
You can see I've been trying to recover ever since, right? My wife is great at providing care. And you know, she started providing care when her grandfather lived in their house on the farm. And the Chinese know you should look after your older people, right? So they had the grandfather. He died at 95. You're doing very well at 95, Phyllis, okay? And then she cared for her own parents for a time, and then she's been caring for me. That's 3 generations. And then she's cared for our 3 children, and now she's caring for their children.
My great-grandchildren.
Now great-grandchildren. I think if you count that all up, it's like about 6 generations. So give her some credit.
Thank you. See you later.